What's going on, everybody? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the very large 13.5-inch tall DC Collectibles Arkham City Clayface action figure. Got this guy this week. I was super excited about getting this guy because he is the largest of any deluxe figure created by DC Collectibles. He is their largest figure. He's larger than Solomon Grundy. He's larger than Darkseid. He is the biggest. He's bigger than Killer Croc. He's bigger than the second Killer Croc from Arkham Origins. He's bigger than Bane. He's bigger than everyone, basically. He's got some really cool accessories. It comes with 3 accessories. I actually am standing up to do this review. It's the first review I've ever had to do where I've stood up fully to do the review. So if it sounds like I'm far away, I'm not. I'm just like, I have to stand up because he's so tall. To give you a quick size comparison, actually I'll do a size comparison a little bit later, but getting to the figure at hand, there is a ton of sculpting going on with this guy. He is pretty well articulated for a 13.5-inch tall figure. He is the size of probably a small child, a baby, if you were. I was actually having a discussion with Rob's Rogues and Stu Murray and Chapman Films and Olivia Automatica, and I was like, I refer to him basically as my little son Clay. Clay, first name Clay, middle name Face, last name ODC. There we go. So pretty much, yeah, he is a large individual, as I should say that. There's a ton of sculpting going on here, and you're probably wondering, what the hell is that? What is he, Doomsday all of a sudden? And it's like, no, it makes sense. In the game, if you have not played Arkham City, in the game you're kind of throwing this freeze grenade into his mouth while you're in the boss battle, and it starts freezing him, and then Batman kind of uses the first accessory, which I'll show you, which is the Talia al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul sword to kind of chop him up into little small pieces of Clayface. So it does make sense. It's kind of like towards the middle of the fight, I would say, with how much is going on here. Maybe they could have lessened it a little bit, but I think they did a really good job on this, and the idea that they decided to go with, I thought was still a good idea. I mean, yeah, he does look very similar to like Doomsday, but he's really well done, and he does have an action feature on him. It's not a gimmick or anything like that, but I'll get to that in a second. But I just want to really just take a look and take this all in. All this detail and the sculpting and the paint applications on him are really good. He doesn't look like a big pile of poop like the DC Universe Classics version of him did. That came in the 2-pack or the single release from the DC Superheroes version. He just looks really, really good, I think. And he I guess he's in scale. I mean, in the video game, he's very, very large. So, yeah, this is one of also the few reviews where I didn't even bother with the unboxing portion because it took me a while to unbox this guy with all the zip ties and everything. And the box is huge itself. It's probably the size of 2 2-packs. Maybe more. No, it's probably like 4 2-packs. You know, if you add the 4 of those together, it's probably the size of that, maybe more. So the box is absolutely huge. He does, like, the other accessories that he comes with is this big, kind of like a I don't know what you would call this, like an axe or like a pendulum, you know, like a pendulum axe or whatever you want to call that. But that he does use this in the boss battle. He also does use this arm, which is, as you can see up here, spoiler alert if you haven't played Arkham City yet, and if you haven't, shame on you, you should. This is him. He's kind of got the shoulder piece of the Joker on here. That's because he's basically, spoiler alert, he's been playing as the Joker the entire time. You can even see some thumbnails right here. Oh, I gotta adjust my lighting here. You can see some thumbnail work right there where he's kind of transitioning in to his original form, which is Clayface. And like I said, he does come with a sword, which actually has a spot. And I'll set those arms down, and I'll show you where you can put the sword and the reasoning behind the sword. In the game, he does actually jump on, I believe he jumps on Clayface's back and kind of stabs him right in here, and there's a little slot, and I'll point it out. It's right there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It's right in here, and you just kind of slide it in. You can see it, and you just kind of slide it in like so. I might have to back up the camera again. Sorry, guys. This thing's massive. He's absolutely huge. So you just kind of slide it in there, and it kind of sticks out of his back like so. And that's kind of actually how it's supposed to be. So if you want to have him pose like that, you can. If not, you can just slide the sword right out and set it on the side, or have Batman, you know, in a scene. If you want to do like a scene with Batman holding the sword, kind of peering up at Clayface, you can. As far as this arm, I'm bumping into everything. To back everything up so far. If you want to put the, I'll just call it the Pendulum Axe Arm. There we go. You want to put this arm in, you just kind of pop that hand off, and it does pop off very easily. And you just pop this hand on, like so. Like, there you go. And there you go. You have the extended arm. Now, it's a big difference with the other arm, the big, long Joker arm. If you want to put that one in, you simply, there's a little button on here where all these frozen crystals are. Little button, and you can tell it's right there, and you kind of just push that in. It's this button right here. You push this in, you got to really push it in. Give it a good long push, and then kind of jiggle or pull it, and it does pop out like so. And there's actually a little release lever in here. If I can get my camera lighting proper. I don't think it's going to show it. I'm casting too much of a shadow in the hole here. There is a little release inside of this hole, and when you press this button, it's kind of like a little clamp. It just releases like so. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. I'm trying to do the best I can with standing far back, but so I apologize if I didn't show that as well, but as I could. But you just take the other arm, like so, the Joker arm, and you just pop it right in. Bam. Wait until you hear the second click. So boom, boom, and then he's got a bendy wire in this arm, so you can, you know, manipulate it any way you want. You want to have it backwards, you can have it backwards, kind of bent back, like so. Or if you want to have it, you know, all the way bent this way, you can. You can also bend the wrist as well. See, like so. So if that's what you want to do, you can do pretty much anything you want with it. And I'll get to that. The head just popped off. So now you're like, what the hell? His head popped off. What the hell? He does have this little miniature Joker head kind of morphing into his original state, which is Clayface, his form right here, for the most part. So if you wanted to like have him kind of like in the game, like I think it's when Batman finds out that he's Clayface, he actually morphs in, and like the last thing to morph into his original Clayface form is the head. So I thought it was a nice touch that they did that, but for the most part, I kind of wish they would have just went with this head, because while it's a nice piece to have, this head doesn't really cover the Joker head too much, which I'll get to in a second. I think it's my biggest gripe with this figure. But let me just show off the head first. The head looks really good, nice red eyes, and the inside is kind of where the head fits. And the jaw is adjustable as well. You can move the jaw. Mama, mama. But anyway, you just kind of slide the head over the small little Joker face. And sometimes it wants to stay, and sometimes it doesn't. You really have to like open up the jaw to kind of lock it into place. So, so there's that. Oop, my lighting's in the way now. I'm so far backed up, guys. I just I don't know what else to do. But like I said, there is a problem. You can't see part of the Joker head. I'm going to pull him in and kind of pick up the camera here. Probably should have thought this through better before I was doing it. But as you can see right here, you can see part of the Joker head. So, I mean, I wish they would have came up with a better idea. Maybe made the head a little bit larger so he does cover the entire Joker head, because you can see the green hair coming through. It's not so bad on this side because he's kind of half and half. He's half Joker face and half Clayface morphing in. But I would have preferred maybe a larger Clayface head right there, just so you can you don't have to see the Joker hair poking through. It kind of throws the figure off a little bit when that happens. But for the most part, as far as his articulation goes, his head does swivel side to side with that head on, and it is on like a here, I'll just take that off. It does swivel like so, like a rotation like so. It does look left and right a little bit. It doesn't really want to look down, but you can position the head to have him look down, I guess, if you wanted to. He does have a socket shoulder. I think you get a better range of motion with the Joker arm than you do this arm because of the sculpting right here of the icicles. But it is there. It can do a full 360 rotation. He does have a bicep swivel on the original arm, not on the Joker arm because it's a bendy wire arm. Does have a bicep swivel, a single bend at the elbow with not the best range of motion. Maybe I would have wished a better range of motion with the elbow, but it is what it is. He's a large figure. So with larger figures, I mean, you're not going to get the best range of motion. They're not going to be the most flexible, most posable figures of all time. So, but a little bit bend, and he does have a swivel at the wrist here, and his head keeps falling off. Like I pointed out, his jaw is articulated. No waist swivel, no ab crunch. He does have wide jointed hips, which kind of go out like so. Damn, this guy's heavy. I'm like reaching over the camera. Be careful though. He does have clear pegs, but they've kind of helped out the clear peg with the weight because they put a metal bar going in between the clear peg. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it is there. There's a metal bar right there. So his legs do the splits really well, actually, for a larger figure. His legs go forward about that far, and they do go back. This guy's really kind of heavy after holding him for a while. A single bend at the knee, and he does have a little bit of a swivel movement in the knee. An ankle hinge, which doesn't really have the best range of motion there. And he does have an ankle swivel. So there's the swivel. Sorry, I was trying to do that as best as I could while leaning over the camera with an outreached arm. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on with this figure. He looks really cool. Let me pause this real quick and I'll be right back with the size comparison. Okay, first size comparison, we're going to go from tallest to shortest. Here is Giant Man, just to give you a really good reference here. Giant Man is taller than Solomon Grundy and Darkseid here, and they're around the same height. Maybe Clayface has a little bit on him because of the crystals in the back. So he's a little bit taller than Giant Man, and Giant Man is absolutely huge. Then we have Solomon Grundy, and as you can see, he dwarfs Solomon Grundy. And finally, we have Darkseid, and these are all huge figures, so I'm trying to get this in here as best as possible. He dwarfs Darkseid as well, so he is really big. Prices for him go around, I've seen them anywhere from $100 to about $100 to about $68. So really shop around and shop wisely, my friends. And there he is standing up next to Series 4, a super articulated Batman from the Arkham City series. So there you go. There's all your size comparisons. Would I recommend this figure? I would absolutely recommend this figure. He comes with really cool accessories. I think the big gripe against him is his head. And why it's removable, I would prefer it just not be removable, to be honest with you. But I would totally recommend this figure. He looks good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.